ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. I have thought about it on other occasions many a time. Why do we continue to commemorate and celebrate the same festivities year after year? Why do we read the same Torah in the synagogue year after year? Well, it seems, apparently, that the message of these festivities is something that is valid for today as well. They have a message that is important for all generations. We are about to commemorate, to celebrate Purim. What is Purim all about? It's about anti-Semitism. The Persians, years ago, 2,500 years ago, wanted to destroy us. There was a prime minister, second to the king. His name was Haman. He wanted to destroy the Jews. Why did he want to destroy the Jews? In order to enrich the coffers of the king, to take all their possessions, all their money, all their goods. So what did he do? Well, he was superstitious apparently also. He pil pur. This in Hebrew means the following. He went and looked for a lot. It was going to be decided by drawing a lot what date he was going to destroy the Jews. He didn't leave it to a lot whether he was going to destroy or not the Jews. He was going to destroy them. He only wanted to fix the date through a lot. So why is it called Purim? Purim is, after all, the plural of pur, means lot. Well, maybe because there's another lot also. It seems that instead of the Jews being destroyed, the story took a turn, and the Jews were the ones that came out victorious. How did they come victorious? Well, there was a Queen Esther. She interceded before the king. In any event, they were given arms. They were permitted to defend themselves, and once they were permitted to do so, they came out victorious of this confrontation between the populace and the Jewish people of the time. In English, there is a word that not everybody uses. It's called contronyms. What does contronym mean? It means it is a reference to a word that can mean opposites, can mean two things at the same time. For instance, to cleave. Cleave means, go ahead, cleave it in two. But cleave can also mean, I want to be next to you. I want to cleave to you. Altogether different. Clip is something the same thing. With a clip, you put together things. But on the other hand, you clip my hair. It's something altogether different. Hold up means something is being held up, but a hold up is also, put your hands up, I'm going to take everything. There are words that mean different things, and there are situations also. You think they're terrible, and suddenly they turn out to be something altogether different. Rahm Emanuel, who was the chief of staff of President Obama in the White House, popularized the following. He said, no crisis should go to waste. They had a problem. He said, well, we got to take advantage of this crisis. It depends what you do. As a matter of fact, and I think I must have mentioned it to you, I once read that in Chinese, the same symbol means opportunity and the same symbol means crisis. It depends where it is. I remember my late mother telling me, in Hebrew, there's a word chamor. Chamor means wine. And it also means donkey. So in Yiddish, there is a saying, it depends where the chamor is. If he's in the stable, he's a donkey. If he's in the cellar, it's wine. It depends what you do with the things. And many people are able to transform. As my granddaughter reminded me, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear a path, altogether different. Jews were limited from hospitals, Jewish physicians. There were too many of them. They were limited also in the number of them that could attend medical schools. So what did they do? Did they stay home and start crying? No. What they did is build hospitals. They built medical schools. In New York, one of the most important hospitals is called Mount Sinai, a Jewish hospital built by Jewish hands. It doesn't mean that they don't accept non-Jewish patients. Everybody, of course, can go into that hospital if he needs it. Nowadays, they even have a medical school, Mount Sinai Medical School as well. So out of a problem came a solution that actually pushed forward an agenda that otherwise wouldn't have been done. You know, there were many persecutions, pogroms in Europe at the end of the 19th century, the beginning of the 20th century. Jews were murdered for no reason at all, through some ploy or sometimes some calumny, who knows what. There was never even a reason wasn't necessary. At the time of Easter, there were also killings in different villages. What was the response of the Jewish people? They said, you know what? We're going to build a state of our own. There was always a Jewish presence in the Palestine of those days, but they started going en masse, and they built a tremendous Jewish state, as we all know. You know, it is ironic that Persia of some 2,500 years ago or so wanted to destroy the Jews. And now we see that Iran, who are their heirs, at least it's the people that live in the same place, are the only country that wants to erase Israel off the map. But there is a word in the Megillah, in the book of Esther, which is a biblical book. It says like this, V'nahafoch, which means everything turned around. From destruction really came salvation. And I don't think that the state of Israel will be destroyed by Iran. V'nahafoch. There will come a time when there'll be a complete turn, and Israel will certainly be victorious over any kind of confrontation with Iran.